The lights in your home might flicker off because an AI just decided to learn how to write poetry. Sound dramatic? It's already happening. Right now, in boardrooms most Americans will never see, three giants are rewriting the rules of power itself. Amazon, Microsoft, BlackRock. They're not just buying servers anymore, they're buying the electricity grid. And hardly anyone is talking about it. Let me show you what's really going on. A single ChatGPT query uses 10 times more electricity than a Google search. 10 times. Now multiply that by billions of requests every single day. The math gets terrifying fast. Data centers already consume 3% of America's total power supply. By 2030, that number hits 8%. That's more than every home in California and Texas combined. Big tech saw this coming years ago, and they made a decision. If you can't guarantee power, you can't scale AI. It's that simple. So they stopped asking permission and started buying the infrastructure itself. Amazon just committed $16 billion to data centers in Ohio. Not millions, billions. Microsoft signed a deal to reopen 3 Mile Island. Yes, that 3 Mile Island. The infamous nuclear plant shut down 5 years ago. Now it's coming back online, exclusively for AI. One corporation, one reactor, zero public debate. BlackRock, meanwhile, is pouring money into energy infrastructure funds at record speed. They're not betting on AI companies anymore. They're betting on the wires that feed them. Because whoever controls the power, controls the future. Here's where it gets darker. These deals aren't just big, they're exclusive. Microsoft's 3 Mile Island contract? 20 years, guaranteed power. No competition. Google is funding 6 new nuclear reactors through a startup called Kairos, private reactors, corporate-owned. Amazon is striking deals with utilities in Virginia, locking down gigawatts before anyone else can bid. They're not sharing the grid, they're carving it up. And the rest of us? We get what's left. Energy analysts are calling this the largest infrastructure land grab since the railroad tycoons. Except this time, it's invisible, buried in press releases and regulatory filings. The public hears clean energy investment. What they don't hear? The word exclusive. Let's talk numbers. A single large data center uses as much power as 250,000 homes. Meta's data center in Iowa? It pulls enough electricity to power a small city. Now imagine 100 more just like it, because that's the plan. Microsoft alone wants 50 new data centers operational by 2027. 50. Each one needs a dedicated power line, a substation, sometimes an entire power plant. The grid wasn't built for this, not even close. Here's the problem most people miss. Power isn't infinite. The U.S. electrical grid is old, fragile, held together with duct tape and hope. Adding massive, power-hungry data centers doesn't just strain the system, it breaks it. In Northern Virginia, the data center capital of the world, utilities are already saying no to new homes. Not because there's no land, because there's no power left. Families can't build, small businesses can't expand. But Amazon servers? They keep humming. This is the trade-off no one voted on. And electricity prices? They're about to explode. When demand spikes and supply is locked up by corporate contracts, basic economics takes over. In Ireland, where data centers now use 20% of the nation's power, residential prices jumped 30%. 30% in 2 years. Georgia just approved a rate hike partly to fund grid upgrades for data centers. You're paying more so AI can train faster. Does that sound fair? Let's follow the money deeper. BlackRock isn't just funding this, they're architecting it. Through infrastructure funds, they own stakes in power plants, transmission lines, and renewable projects. They finance the data centers. They finance the power supply. They profit twice. It's vertical integration on a scale that would make Rockefeller blush. And it's all legal, barely regulated, celebrated as innovation. Now add in the nuclear angle, because this is where it gets genuinely scary. Big tech is reviving nuclear power, but not through government, through private contracts. Microsoft's 3 Mile Island deal is worth hundreds of millions. Money talks. Kairos Power, backed by Google, is building small modular reactors, experimental technology, unproven at scale. Who regulates this? Who ensures safety when profit is the priority? The Nuclear Regulatory Commission is understaffed and underfunded. They can barely keep up. We're privatizing nuclear energy to train chatbots. Let that sink in. Meanwhile, renewable energy was supposed to be the solution: solar, wind, clean and democratic. But big tech is swallowing that too. Amazon is now the largest corporate buyer of renewable energy on Earth. Sounds good, right? Except those solar farms were going to power homes, schools, hospitals. Now, exclusively contracted to AWS data centers. The clean energy transition is being hijacked before it even reaches you. And here's the kicker. These companies pay almost nothing in taxes to the communities they drain. Tax breaks for job creation, exemptions for economic development. Virginia gave Amazon hundreds of millions in incentives. The data centers employ maybe a few hundred people. Compare that to the thousands of homes now facing higher electric bills. This isn't economic development, it's extraction. The grid is becoming a two-tier system: corporate priority, public leftovers. In Texas, during the 2021 freeze, Bitcoin miners were paid to shut down. Not because officials cared about crypto, because the grid was failing and they needed the power back. Now imagine that, but with AI data centers that have billion-dollar contracts and lawyers. Who gets power when it's scarce? You or the algorithm? We're building a future where your electricity is rationed, so AI doesn't go offline. Some will say this is progress, that AI needs power to advance humanity. Maybe, but who decided corporations get first dibs? There was no referendum, no public input, just backroom deals and regulatory capture. Energy is supposed to be a public good, a utility, something we all share. Instead, it's becoming a private resource, auctioned to the highest bidder. And the crisis is accelerating. Every new AI model is bigger, hungrier. GPT-5 will make GPT-4 look tiny. The arms race isn't slowing down, it's speeding up. More models, more data centers, more power. And the grid? Already buckling. So what happens next? Either we wake up and demand accountability, or we sleepwalk into a future we can't afford. A future where big tech owns the power, literally. Where blackouts become common because AI got priority. Where your electric bill doubles because someone else locked up the supply. This isn't science fiction. It's happening now. The trillion-dollar energy grab is underway. And the lights? They're